Let's go! Que cara que eu faço para começar? Com áudio e tudo? Sério? Oi, gente! Não?
Agora vai.
Já? Começou? Oi, gente! Tem alguém aqui comigo? Boa noite! E aí, gente? Tudo bem? Ai, tô muito feliz, tô muito ansiosa, tô muito nervosa, tô sentindo um tanto de coisa diferente de estar aqui hoje para apresentar a abertura ao vivo, né? Porque o evento já tá rolando, já tem uns dias, já tem umas semanas, umas coisas acontecendo por aí. Vocês já viram, gente, o BHVF 2020 100% online, com aula, roda de conversa, batalha rolando aí. Quem já viu, quem já tá ligado aí no nosso Instagram e agora no nosso YouTube, já tem uma batalha rolando. Aqui já tem vídeo dos Tingz, dos dancers incríveis que mandaram. E, gente, sério mesmo, primeiramente, muito obrigada a todos vocês que enviaram vídeos, que de alguma forma compartilharam, apoiaram a pessoa da sua house, a pessoa da sua casa, da sua família a mandar um vídeo, porque todo mundo tá de pandemia, todo mundo tá aí meio enferrujado, né? Vamos falar a verdade. Mas a gente recebeu materiais muito bons a ponto de todos os jurados comentarem e ficarem positivamente surpresos. Então, obrigada por fazerem esse evento acontecer. Como eu falei, o evento é 100% online e vocês acessam aqui no YouTube as etapas da batalha. Já foi o Tingz e a fase 1, tá? Sobre as batalhas, já que eu tô falando de batalha, vamos falar então de algumas coisinhas que rolaram para explicar e esclarecer direitinho sobre os jurados e os votos. A gente convidou 11 jurados, 11 pessoas para julgarem e decidirem essa batalha online. Por que a gente convidou 11? Primeiro porque a gente sabe que na pandemia a rotina de cada um é diferente, cada um está num canto do mundo, tem Nova York, tem Paris, tem Alemanha, tem Brasil, nós, no caso, produção. E como a gente não tem como garantir que todo mundo vai ter todos os dias livres, né, e os horários livres, a gente pensou, beleza, tendo 11 jurados, quem votar por cada rodada já fecha para nós. Tanto que nos Tingz foram 9 jurados votando e na primeira fase 5 pessoas votaram. E spoiler para a fase 2, já temos quase todos os votos, já temos quase o resultado. Estou muito ansiosa, eu não sei, gente, estou muito ansiosa desse evento. E é isso, então como os jurados também têm um prazo para votar, acaba que não dá para esperar todo mundo. Então é por isso que em alguns momentos vai ter mais ou menos votos. Um votou no Tingz, o outro não votou. É isso mesmo, beleza? Então, para fechar, amanhã o nosso cronograma está no site, mas eu vou falar aqui para vocês. 1h, é 1h, produção? Começa a aula com 2h, que é 1h lá em Nova York. 2h aqui para nós, no Brasil. Começa a aula com Arturo. Icon, baby. E às 4h começa a aula com o Mari. Depois, às 6h, a gente vai ter uma roda de conversa sensacional, que eu tô animadíssima, são meus momentos incríveis que vão acontecer no evento, com Yamakaze, Aru e Lázara. Então, não percam. A partir de agora, vocês podem ficar bem atentos lá no nosso Instagram, aqui no YouTube também, porque batalha divulgada aqui, essa abertura com pessoas incríveis é aqui. E é isso. Falei demais? Vamos começar? Quem quer começar? Quem quer saber se nossos convidados já estão aqui preparados? Última coisa. Eu não vou aparecer mais. Essa conversa vai ser toda em inglês. Eles vão conversar entre si e depois, quando o vídeo ficar no YouTube, a gente vai colocar a legenda em português. Tá bem? E aí, qualquer coisa, mandem perguntas. Se vocês quiserem falar alguma coisa, perguntar alguma coisa, escreve aqui no chat do YouTube, que a produção aqui, gente, a produção, o canal fazendo um negócio muito legal, manda para nós e a gente manda para eles, assim, para tentar responder. Eles falam muito, então também não sei se vai dar tempo, mas nós vamos tentar. Então, sem mais delongas, Vou apresentar para vocês agora ninguém mais, ninguém menos. Him, Archie Burnett. Archie, are you there? Turn your audio on first. Yes, work, Archie.
What's good, mi brasileiro y brasilera?
Archie, tell us a bit about you, present yourself, and say whatever you want to say to our amazing people watching us, and then you present the next guest.
Well, hello. Oh my goodness. You know, this is such a special special time that we can get together and have a key. Well, my name is Archie Burnett. I am the grandfather of the House of Ninja, and the proud daddy of this wonderful scene here in Brazil. I just love it, and I've got to say, in the 6 years that we're doing this, it's just a pleasure just to see it all happen. And we have with us today the one, the only, iconic, iconic beat maker, game changer, make it worker, all of that, and a bag of chips too. The amazing Vjuan Allure. Come on, baby.
Hi, everybody. How are you? How are you doing? Hey, Brazil. How are you? I'm coming to see you soon whenever they lift this thing, but I'm coming. Trust me, I am. I'm glad to be here. Of course, I'm Vjuan Allure. I am the creator of Elite Beats and of Ballroom Beats. It's my pleasure to be here. Definitely, thank you, Paul, and thank you, of course. Oh my God, down. But anyway, everybody. It's really nice to be here. I love the talent. We've been watching you guys for years, so don't think that we're not, because we're watching you, and we see you putting in the capoeira in it. We see it. I'm just excited to be here and ready to get this done. I've been making beats for years. Teaching people how to excite a ball, how to keep things moving, how to get the energy up between the crowd and the performer and the commentator. And that's our job, and that's what we want to do, whether we got 1 million people or 10. So that's what we do.
Absolutely. So, Vjuan, I take it, if you don't mind, I can ask some questions now. Is that all right, Paula? Okay. So, Vjuan, we have this amazing thing that it's the brainchild of the amazing Vjuan Allure called Ballroom Tingz.
Ballroom Tingz.
Ballroom Tingz, man. Ballroom Tingz. And the amazing thing about these things is that these are the little and major informational things that everybody needs to know in being involved in this particular type of genre. First and foremost, this genre is about empowerment, and what we're all doing actually what we're doing is social work, and we're making this thing very, very powerful. Whether a person believes it or not, they'll see. So, Vjuan, I'd like to ask you, before we go into Ballroom Tingz, I'd like to ask you, how do you see the culture and how relevant is it today, especially in this time where we're all locked down and unfortunately we can't be with each other, but all of these different things converged at the same time. Black Lives Matter, political unrest, us being locked down for 6 months, 6 months since March. So I'd like your opinions and views on that.
It's definitely a trying time for a lot of people. I actually went home and I got creative. I started making music, which you will hear later, and more music and finishing up projects. And then, you know, the kids got creative online. They started having online balls and festivals and everything. So it's really needed. You guys, what I've seen, especially the overseas kids, you are so appreciative when you participate in a ball and you can see that the love, you're just happy to be there. And we're happy to see you because, you know, we take cues from you guys too. Do not ever get it twisted that we don't see what you guys do. I've told many people before all over the world that we watch you as much as you watch us, because you've given us something to look at. You've sparked, helped the resurgence of Vogue and of ballroom culture throughout the world. And we're learning and going along, and we started to travel. The people in the United States started to travel overseas, like you guys came to the States. So it sparked a whole lot of things, and it's definitely a great thing to see this happening. It's unified a lot of people. It's made the concentration come back to family, come back to values for houses. You know, I would definitely say the turning point was the realization of the Paris is Burning ball in Paris. I was so mad that I couldn't be there, but to watch the entire House of Ninja come down that runway sent shivers up my arms and everything. And people watched, and that's when people started to spend money to come. And then watching all the places pop up, you know, you guys, Brazil, I'm like, wow, really? And because I'm watching Deshaun running around in the streets at night. I'm like, where are they going? Where are they going? And, you know, because this is what we do. We're on different time zones. So at different times, we watch everybody do everything. You know, we're watching the London kids, we're watching the Finnish kids, you know, the Russian kids, everybody. So it's just, I mean, even the people in the States, because, you know, we're up late at night, they're having a ball too. So it's really good, and it definitely has put us all together. Everybody learns the struggle, everybody's helping with the struggle. And this, like I said, it moved into so many movements. Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, you know, the whole thing. And it just, you know, with the allies, it's just a great thing, and it's much needed.
Absolutely. And I can honestly tell you this, being the catalyst for the birth of the European scene has been my pleasure. And to see what's happened since 2007, technically 2008, but beginning 2007 to now, it's a pleasure to see that these kids were raised in love, because strength works better when everybody's on the same game plan. A lot of people like to think, oh, well, you know, it's this utopian thing that's not real. Let me explain something. As long as a possibility exists, the reality will follow. That's just what it is. So, Vjuan, I'd like to get into the Ballroom Tingz.
Okay.
There's been this strange notion that when people vogue, they have a tendency to put the technique first and the music second. How so? You'll see many people just throwing themselves on the floor at any beat that they choose. That's not a beat. That's not a beat. So I would like to clarify that music comes first. And here's Vjuan Allure, the beat maker, the game changer. What is your view or opinion or Ballroom Tingz tips
Okay.
on that issue?
First of all, Ballroom Tingz, even though sometimes it sounds crazy, is all done. It sounds a bit sarcastic. It's all done with love. It's done with love because if you know what you're doing, it doesn't affect you. But the people that's hitting, I'm like giving you a spank. Like, I know who taught you. Stop doing that. Don't make me come over there and tell your teacher you're doing this. Or I say, when I see you, I'm gonna tap you on your shoulder. Come here. And I've done it. I've stopped balls. Archie, you know. I've stopped balls in the States, overseas, everywhere. And I've had one time, this young lady in, where was it? It was in Sweden? When she came down for a Vogue Femme and acting all crazy, and I stopped her 3 times. And the 3rd time, Archie, she came through
Yeah. No, that was Finland.
And Finland. But see, that's the thing. I stopped her 3 times. I'm like, what are you doing? That's not what you do. And the 3rd time, she was like, okay. And she did it. This is what we're doing. We're pulling out what you already know. Don't be scared. If you're going to participate in ballroom, let it go. Let everything go and push it to the limit. That's what we want you to do. So if you're going to Vogue, we don't vague. We Vogue. You have to go all the way over the rainbow, because the only way somebody's going to see you is if you come out pumping. And I tell everybody, you can't come down there like you're lazy. You can't come down there like they don't see me. You present yourself on that floor, make them pay attention, and go do your business. And this is what Ballroom Tingz is about. So when I use Ballroom Tingz, you know, sometimes it's the critique on certain things, not meant to hurt anyone, but it's like, it does use humor. It does bite sometimes, but it's not meant to hurt you, because what I'll do, I'll grab the person I'm talking about and say, what are you doing? Come here. Like, no, this is what you do. Make it sharper, make it cleaner, this and that. You know, so it's not a thing to needle anyone, to make fun of anyone, although it's said in a joking manner. Okay. Everything that you hear someone say to you is not a read. Sometimes it's the best advice you could have. You just listen and take the lesson, even though your name's not said, and you go deal with it.
Nicely done. Second thing I'd like to make note, because of the world as it is now, this online thing is a reality.
Mm-hmm.
With this medium comes its own particular dynamics and problems. For instance, because music is first,
yes.
If you submit anything in this medium, the music and the dance has to be synced in the medium that you're sending. Only because with the delay of the internet right now, we don't know if a person is on beat or not on beat. This is a consideration
We don't
considered.
But what you do see is, if you have a clear shot of that person, you can tell they came to boogie.
Oh, yes.
You can see it when they're performing, if they were off beat or not, because when the beat stops, they're still going. But the thing is, you see them in their count. You see them in, I'm spinning and I'm living and I'm giving you extension. I'm giving you precision. I'm giving you like, oh, turn that beat off. Let me see what they're doing. And this is the thing. It is the key for someone to get out there and enjoy what they're doing, to walk that runway, to serve face. It's the enjoyment you get out of doing it. It's not a labor of hurting you. It's a labor of love when you come to dance. When you come to play, you come to play. You might be sweating and heaving up, doing dry heaves on the wall, but you're like, whew, that was fun. But that's the whole thing. When we work through this music, and definitely music comes first, I tell everyone, take a minute, enjoy the music for an 8 count or a 24 count. It's going to repeat. You don't have to know the song, it's going to repeat, and you're like, got it, Vogue. Now you Vogue. Because you're listening for what it's doing. You're listening for what the song does, how it how the hits come in. You know, is it staggered hits? Does it skip a hit and then come back? You know, is it a 3/4 beat? Is it the Afro vibe, the skip beats? You're listening for all of this stuff. And this is the key before you actually start to dance. So this is the part of you presenting yourself. You're building up, getting this beat into you. And then you go perform. That's why you never run out on the floor immediately doing what it is you're going to do, runway or anything else. You're listening for the vibe of the beat and getting that groove.
That was my next question for you, Vjuan Allure. What is a tip that you can give these young people in this particular time with this medium? Because there isn't a live audience, so there's a certain energy and a certain ambiance and a certain electricity that happens with us as human beings being connected to each other in a room. Because of this particular medium, a couple of the contestants came up with something very, very, very smart in their deliveries. They had a few people in their immediate view, chanting them on, social distancing, of course, but giving them energy. Do you have a tip for someone to try to connect to that energy, but we're in a time where the internet is ruling? Do you have any tips for that?
Yes, if you're needing energy like that, if you can't get the people to do that, you can make a recording of your house chant and have it play. You know, you play the record and then play the recording as it's going along. You know, we can put music together with all these things on the internet. You can put music together. If you can do a TikTok, you can do a chant to a beat. And you will have that will feed you where like, oh, I'm going to walk above. Oh, I have my music, and you already have your chant on there. You know, if you're listening to like, there's lights, it's all kinds of things, but some people have music with the lights that beat off the beat. It gives you energy because a light that's on this flickering, you know, we like the strobe lights and all that stuff. It gives you that club feel, you know. So it's lots of things you can do. Aside from having a bunch of people there. But if you can get the people there, that's even better. They can yell from across the street through your window, whatever they need to do.
Absolutely.
And you will still have the same, you know, amount of fun. You know, and it's just the thing where, you know, online medium has caused you to use your imagination. We can stretch our imaginations now. You may not be able to do some of the stuff that you want to in person that you can do now at home. We've had people do runway and they've walked an entire block around bicycle routes and around amusement parks for these balls. It's like they just walk the whole thing, and that's not something you can do at a ball. The runway is like this small, but filming and somebody in front of you, you just have endless runway. So some of these presentations are really catching on, and it's great to see.
In this time, creativity is the key. They do have a saying here. It's called that crisis is the mother of invention. Sometimes, actually, often, when situations are presented to us, we figure out ways to move forward. And as what Vjuan Allure is saying, these particular ideas spur out of the necessity to get a job done, so to speak, you know? So it's an amazing thing, this medium. Also, it's come to my attention that some of these submissions, because of the medium that we have here, need to be shot full body. So Vjuan, do you have any suggestions in order for someone to get a good delivery of the medium that they're using, with just some simple things that can make them, can enhance their performance without getting too camera-y and, you know, actually distracting from what you're trying to deliver?
The actual best thing that you can possibly do is get either someone to hold your camera for you or put it on a tripod. These tripods now, it's so many of them stands for phones, and they can stand in a tripod, what you call it, but it centers the action for you, and you just walk towards your phone. This way we can see your whole effect, and you walk up and you walk back. And what you need to do is actually practice this before you do it and go midway. And from here, I know from my camera angle right now, if I raise my hands up to Vogue, you won't see it. So all my performance needs to be here. The further you go back, the more you can stretch. So you have to judge your camera angles, judging by how close you're going to be to your camera. And you have to work at it, because yes, voguing is, you can come all the way around and come up to the camera, but we can't see your whole performance. So you being actually back allows us to see your whole performance. Now for a face, of course, you have to come up for face and serve face. You can't be in the back serving face like this. You have to be in front of the camera. It depends on what you're doing, but like, if you're doing a whole bunch of things, especially in voguing, and you do floor performance, we don't know what you're doing. So you have to back up and show us. You have to have it on the floor where we can actually see what you're doing. Because, you may be killing it, and somebody said, what they do, leave the room? One chop, but that's the thing. We can't see you. And light.
Yes.
We need it lit.
Yes.
Because sometimes, like, face and all that stuff, we need a light. And you can have a regular bulb. You can go get one of the round rings. They're not that expensive, but if you're going to use this medium, you need things to help you with the medium. And those are some of the things that are available.
Understood. That's a really, really good point. The other thing I'd like to talk about is this amazing journey that sometimes happens where dancers become DJs and DJs become producers. For the first time in 6 years, this particular special category that has been birthed by the Vjuan Allure,
yes,
of the beat maker, so to speak, category. It's really exciting for me to hear your thoughts on this. I'll say it's a very inspiring thing for young people in music to now have this outlet that is actually directly related to this genre. Can you speak a little bit about that?
I was really thrilled when they asked me about it, when Rebecca asked me about it. Is that girl's name? I'm not gonna call her by her wrong name. Yeah, it's like when she asked me about it, I was really excited. And I thought, the more I thought about it, I was like, this is gonna be fun, because normally the people who have done beats, no one's ever, they've done a couple Battle of the Beats, but we haven't been present a lot of the beat makers to do these things. And to actually sit here and judge that was a lot of fun, to actually listen to, especially another country doing it and doing their thing. And I gotta say, the first thing I said, are they professional? Because they all sounded great. They all sounded great, and it was like, it was very hard to whittle it down. I had two off the cuff that I really, really liked, and I listened to them all again, and I'm like, I'm trying to, I was going about it, what sounded best, what sounded the rhythm, what, who used the Brazil funky the best, who used the, some people used the ha, some people made just the beat. and it just wound up to these two, and I was going back and forth, and now I finally figured on the winner, and it was just really, really nice to do that, and there he is.
Hey,
There he is.
the winner.
I want to pronounce his name right. Lim. You did a great job. Hopefully you're listening. You did a great job. I appreciate what I heard and everything. And why I wanted you to be here was on my next track. I'm going to send you the stems and let you do a remix on my next track. So I need to get your information. You can get it through Paula, and she will get it to me, and I will have you on my next track.
Surprise, man. Surprise.
Thank you for doing a great job too. But the energy of it all, Bounce thing too. Oh my God, it was very nice. It was refreshing to hear. I love the talent. I've been doing this for a long time, and not knowing exactly what I was creating until I started to get interviewed and started to be caught up on blogs. And even when I got my status, I'm like, well, what is this? And I was like, yeah, you made a lot of records. Like, and they're all over the place. But it was just a beautiful thing to see like new people do it. And you're hearing the kids overseas and we're listening and they're getting their grooves. And I'm like, okay, because the thing is, you take it's like, okay, the dancer became the DJ. Okay. That was me, and I'm still dancing and everything. But my whole thing is I want we come from an era where there were mega clubs, huge clubs, 2-3 floors of club. They come in at 11 o'clock in the evening, leave out at 12 a.m. in the morning, in the afternoon rather, go get your second outfit for Sunday, go home and go to sleep and get up and go to the club again. That's where we come from. And the problem is not so much overseas, because they pretty much have clubs, but even in the States, the clubs in the States are like lounges now, and people are sitting there and they're selfieing and they're not really dancing. And I'm like, you don't understand what it is to club and to feel that. And my mentor, DJ Cedric, used to make us go crazy to this music. And he played music from all over. He was not a producer, but he stitched together these songs from Detroit, from Chicago, from DC to LA to New York. And he was like a witch doctor, and he put it together. So when I was really, really hanging with him, I said, where are you getting this music from? Because one day we were in the club and the music sounded pretty regular. It sounded pretty regular. This time Work came out, and it had a Mariah Carey song or something. It was vanilla. And I said, what happened to those beats? And he said, oh, they're not making them anymore. I said, I'll make them. And that's what happened. That's when that reality came.
Excellent. The rest is history now, right?
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm never intimidated, because everywhere that you go that has a club, you have everything. You got just any club situation. You have the pretty, you have the bad, you have the good, you have the dancers, you have the posers, et cetera, et cetera. I'm coming in that club at 1 o'clock, ready to dance and be rowdy. You should be really, really warmed up by now. Let's get it. So that's what I'm bringing. So people are like, are you going to, you're playing with so-and-so. Are you nervous? No, why? He's not going to play the same thing or the same way I'm going to play. So this is what I take with me everywhere I go. This goes into my ballroom ethic. Everywhere you go, walk it, live it, There's no, what are you scared for? I'm in another country. Yeah, watch what I do, and go do your thing. Go do your thing.
Absolutely. The other question I'd like, well, statement question I'd like to state is that, as you've said, it's very, very, very important for us to realize that all of this community, all of this comes from the social. So that means interaction. Because now we're at a particular weird thing where we can't have or let's say we're being told that we're forbidden to have a social among each other in person. Do you have any suggestions that can not be as good as the real thing, but keep somebody's juices flowing for that?
We're doing some creative things. I'm thinking of things to do. Smaller parties that they have, but linked together with large screen TVs in different areas, where you have trying to figure it out how we would get the music to gel together. How we would carry that out as far as what the speakers would do, but have, the limit of the people in this building and limit from people in another building. And you have a large screen TV over there and they have one. So we're watching you and they're watching us. So it's like a larger club. And you just, like I said, it's the thing this in your head, determination. It's you learning the basics again. It's you getting in touch with club life again, how it worked, the socialness of it. Not so much I can do a 360. No, understand that voguing and runway and all this is your style versus my style. I have a particular way that I vogue. You have a particular way that you vogue. Let's do a match. We don't rush to do the same thing. That's not what it is. Everybody's rushing to do the same thing and run up on the judges. No, it's your style versus my style. That's what the competition is. Because if that was the competition and we're all rushing to do 360s and get the trophy, I say get the trophy and the money and give it to Laomi.
Excellent.
She started it. She gets the trophy. Nobody wins. Now, when you take it and do something different and make it yours, now we're talking.
Blueprinting.
That's what people have to learn.
Yes. Yes. Well, we do have some questions from our wonderful audience. Yes. Pambeli, is that the correct pronunciation? Pambeli would like to ask, well, what did you take into account when evaluating the beats that was submitted?
Everything. I listen to, if you don't know anything about me, if you haven't read my interviews, I'm listening. I don't make music from a beat. I listen for a noise. I build a song off of one piece and go around it. I'm listening for things that are already there. I'm taking into account this is not a regular ballroom thing. So I didn't take into account, oh, they did a ha. I didn't think that way. I'm listening to everything in your beat. I'm listening to the repetition. I'm listening to how it builds. I'm listening to how it changes. As a dancer, if you are playing anything more than the 16 count, it's too long. A 16 count is 2 verses. And once you hear that, you are conditioned as a person. When the 16 count comes up, you're like, and you know it's supposed to change. So this is what I'm listening to, unless you're doing a long drawn out disco mix, which they weren't. They were short records. So understand the process of making a record, your whole intro, your chorus, your first verse, your chorus, your second verse, your chorus, your bridge, chorus, last verse, exit. So that's the pattern of a song. Check it almost against any song that's out there. So that's what I'm looking for, the entire thing, how it fit, how it came on, how it went off, what it made you feel. That's more important than anything. If it made you feel something.
Excellent. We have another question, if I get the name correct. Brusha Cosmica. All right, I nailed that one. Brusha Cosmica. How was the evolution of music inside ballroom when Vogue beats started to be born? I know that's a little, that's kind of a tricky one, but.
Well, no, because I did it. So
work.
It's not tricky at all. When because I got pissed, sorry, I came home and I started making these rowdy ass.
Wait. Tell the whole story. Tell the whole story, because it's too good to not tell.
I was I lived in Italy and I came home to DC. I wanted to be a DJ. I really was not. I was kind of a DJ in Italy the first time I came home. But I learned to DJ. I learned how to blend and learned how to mix and everything. So I was getting hired and I was having fun. So when I came home, I wanted to apply that here in the States. I tried to go to a couple places to play, and it kind of entertained it, but I didn't get hired. So I was making these little introductions to beats, and then I would make introductions to CDs, and then I would play the regular music. When you hear my voice sped up, when you hear like couldn't get enough, back for more, it's me. Those are my voices. So, and they're sped up. But that's what I used to do on some of my mixtapes. The problem was I got booked for a ball, and I'm thinking, oh, I got all this music, I know what to play, blah, blah, blah. And I went out to Detroit, which is great. Love Detroit, love you down. But when I got out there to play, I was playing all this music and just mixing, and everyone was sitting there like doing nothing, and I couldn't understand it. I'm like, all this music, and I'm like, I'm really playing. You're like, why aren't you listening? I mean, you're not bobbing your head or anything. So the time went on. It got past 12 o'clock. It was going on 1, and I don't like to repeat music. So I'm like, okay, you guys better do something. But the people who own the club, who were older than the kids, are like, oh my God, you're good. What's your name? What is this? I said, well, thank you. I said, at least you get it. But then I said, okay, well, just let me play one of these tracks. And I played the Ha. And as soon as I played the Ha, everybody jumped up. And I stood there and I put my hands on my head. I'm like, you waited all night for this. Wow. And they were just in their own little world and everything. And I was like, okay. And we finished the ball. We had a great time and everything. But I was pissed. I went home and I made a remix. And I got booked for Detroit again. They wanted me back. So we did the same thing with a little less music because those record cases were heavy. And we did the same thing, the exact same thing. They didn't move. And about 1 o'clock came, I played the Ha. They jumped up and it was on the turntable. And any DJ knows you cut it off and it goes, and everybody turned around and they looked. And I pressed the CD and said, you want a Vogue fam? You want the Ha? I'll give it to you, but not like you remember it. Welcome to the Vjuan Allure exclusive, the Ha. Girls, get ready. Bam, bam, bam. And it started. And when that beat started, everybody was they were just hands and everything. And for about a good minute, and then I cut it off. They said, no, put that back on. I said, you'll get more later. And that's when it started. And I started to make all kinds of beats, just, giving the performer the meat of the song, giving you the groove to Vogue to. Like a break boys, B-boys, when they break, they want that hot beat. That's what I was giving the Voguers. So that's where the beats came from. And I've never stopped, never looked back.
Thank you for that answer. Because that story was way too good not to tell.
It's funny. It was funny.
It's funny how you had to force feed someone by just saying, you know what? Here's a taste of something that you already know. Well, take it away. Not for you anymore. That's it.
Yeah, and I immediately said, when they asked for it back, I said no.
Thank you.
More later, and specifically that one beat. Sorry, that one beat became a thing. There were balls at that time. They would not. That was the only song they were going to play.
Oh God.
Through Chicago, through Detroit. That's the only song they were going to play. You had to vote to that.
Wow.
So it was really cool. And then the other ones came out, the 2K2, and I just kept making them. But at that time, I had a stockpile of beats I was making, and I never played them. I was just making them for me. And I started giving them to my mentor, Cedric, who started spreading them around the country.
Actually, I'm glad you said that, because the next two questions from Pambelli has directly related to that, where you're going right now.
Okay.
One of them is, well, what are the main elements to compose a Vogue beat? But the second one is, do you use your exclusive music, so coveted, in battles or just in your DJ set?
No, well, first of all, there's no particular element to use. There are things that you hear in a lot of voguing tracks. You hear the ha, you hear the crash and everything. But if you played a hot song, a voguer is going to vogue anyway, with no crash or anything. And that's the thing. What you're looking for is a feeling. A hot beat is a hot beat. That's it. Conti was not a ha.
That's right.
That was not a ha. So, you know, when you're listening for these songs, yes, we make a lot of songs with the crash in it and stuff, and we're always going to do that. But realize that if you make a hot beat, that's what's going to get you over, because that beat can ride longer than any ha. If your competition is making ha's, 50 of them a day, and you know you got people with 50 million ha's, but they're only playing one of them.
It doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense. You're making this crash, 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 crash to everything, but if you don't feel it, neither do we.
That's nice.
Neither do we.
Also answer his second question, but in addition to that, putting a crash in a song does not make it a Vogue beat.
No.
So do you use your exclusive music in battles or just only in your DJ set?
No, I use I do the same thing that I did when I made the song. I take a piece of my song and make it even hotter for the battle. I make it even hotter. And if you ever watched it, if you've ever watched the Vogue battles when I'm playing, you know, I break it down. You know, it's so much fun. But that's the synergy. You have to listen to what's going on and look what's going on. That performer, that commentator, and that DJ. When they're together, you can't stop it.
I hope I'm going to play some of those things later on today.
And yes, you'll hear it, but Archie can tell you, we played so hard that the people in the other competitions, they wanted me to play their music. I'm like, but you have a hip hop DJ. No, we want you to play. And I'm like,
I witnessed that. B-boys were going crazy. They were going crazy. They were outside huffing and puffing, going, whoo. DJ, damn. Woo.
But that's what you need, and that's for anybody. You know, whatever person is playing a genre, if you are feeling the music, it doesn't matter who's on. It does not matter who's on stage. Once you feel that music, you're coming through.
Fabulous.
You will shine when you feel that music, and there's no one that can stop you. It's like, this is your night. If I'm feeling the music and I'm believing in what I'm playing, nobody can tell you any different. And for the other question, yeah, I use my music in my mixtapes, but I also use it all around the world. Now, what I will do is, you have to acknowledge what's on that floor. If I had a whole group of dancers and not one voguer was a dancer, me playing the ha makes no sense. If you have a whole room of people and no one is voguing, it makes no sense to play the ha. Why? Who's going to use it? If you don't see the arms going, play other beats. Once you see an arm going, like, oh, got somebody, and go do it.
There you go.
So this is, you have to judge what's going on that floor, and you have to feel it, and they have to feel you. So that's one of the biggest criteria is when you go listen to somebody else, are they watching the floor? Are you rocking this crowd without a beat that's supposed to be for them? Did you break something over their head? Now they can't get it out of their head. And it's not even for them. And they're like, whatever you play, do what you're going to do.
I wouldn't expect it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question from Guillermo Basan. Say, hey, Vjuan, what do you think about the relationship of funk becoming a vogue beat? The Brazilian musicality is introduced in the ballroom scene, like the lazy flow mixes or the batucadas, samba samples, things like that. We
have been using the batucada samples for years. This is not something new. Even for the Iberican sound, Give It Up, The Good Man, all that stuff, we've been using those for years. So it's not nothing that came up last year or the last 5 years. What has happened is you still have to, I don't want to be anyone that goes into something and you just do it because it's a new sound and you just run through that country like, you know, oh, okay, I'm doing this and because they have a new sound. No, if you don't feel it, it's not right. You know, we have a lot of DJs. I'm going to use this for that play Afro House. If you were playing Afro House, if you were an Afro House DJ, in your mixes years before it became popular, I would have heard the beginnings and the background of Afro House in your mix. Just because it came out and is popular, you're trying to play it now. And now you're this big Afro House DJ, but you've never played that before. So this is something, what I'm saying, just because it is something that's there, don't just go over there and try to exploit it. I've made now the Brazilian funky thing, it is so funky. It is so funky that you can't help but get into it. And I've done a couple mixes, you'll hear them tonight. But you know, I'm not going to sit up there and make my whole catalog this. But if you listen to my music before, I've always had break beats like that. Always, from when I first started. So it is a natural progression for me. It's like, oh, this fits what I'm going to do. So it's not like I'm pandering to my Brazilian crowd. I'm honoring my Brazilian crowd.
So remember, people, if you can't feel it, you can't seal it.
That's it.
Remember that. We have 2 more questions here. What is the importance about musicality in a battle, not just hitting the beat, but going beyond?
Okay. Musicality.
Come on now. Bring it. Musicality
in a beat. Okay. Okay. Archie, help me out with this. You know that kid that's what's his name? Darren on the dance scene. He danced to Kitale.
Oh,
the little kid.
That kid. Oh my God.
Okay. The thing is, in that competition, he worked his footwork.
Yes, he did.
Now, if you looked at any of those dance competitions after that, why is someone copying what that kid did? This is the issue. I'm like, let that be the moment that it is. Your musicality comes from somewhere else. You don't have to copy what he did. At the same time, when you do something else to it. Candyman did something else to it. Away from what the kid did. So it makes sense. But when you watch everyone else, when that part comes up, with the drum bass and the beat and the timbales and stuff, everybody wants to do the foot motion. I'm like, it's already done. You know, you can't let this kid live. And musicality, when you know a song, you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't know it, by listening to it, you catch the feeling.
I would say it kind of you up too, because it's a pattern for you to work off of. So,
yes, the patterns you'll work off of, you know, because I've dropped many of them on you, and you've gotten it. You've gotten the songs and didn't know what it was going to do, but you felt it. And even songs that you really know, you kind of dance, sing it.
Mm-hmm.
You feel it because you know it. And the musicality will come through your body depending on what you're going to do. Musicality is you putting on a show. You know, it's you putting on a show for the love of that song, for the love of that music, whether you're in a competition or not. And most of the times, it should come out when you're not in the competition, because in the competition, you're battling, and my musicality will come out just for a battle's sake. But me as a dancer, normally, I'm going to give you my all.
You said something very important. Putting on a show for the love of that music. That's paramount. The winner of of the beat maker, Liam, he has a very interesting question. Because we have all this technology now, right? So he says, before all of this technology, how was your creative process and workflow? And how and where did you make your first songs?
My first songs I made, I want to say 1997.
97.
97, yeah. I started to fool around on samplers, drum machines. I had the hardware, the drum machines and all of that.
So not just the turntables.
No, I wasn't even on the turntables then.
Ah, okay.
I wasn't even on the turntables. I was messing around with drum machines and samplers and learned on a Tascam board how to do production and how to blend all of that together and make it into a song. That's how I learned. I didn't want to touch a computer at all, but I found out that you're gonna need one, because with the hardware, it ate up all the memory. I was not doing bass lines, I was not doing keyboards or anything, but every one of my songs, you would think it was in there because I put a drum everywhere a bass line should be, everywhere a keyboard should be. So it filled up the memory. So most of my early tracks are only 2 minutes and 50 seconds or 3 minutes, just barely that, because my machines would run out of memory. And then I got a Tascam board that actually plugged into the computer, and you could output it to the computer, and you drag it to your computer workstation, and you could cut it and stretch it out. I was like, oh.
And the light goes on, click.
And then my songs became 8 minutes long and 6 minutes, all that stuff.
Wow. Excellent. Pambeli also asked you, what programs do you usually use for productions?
And right now, okay, good.
No, so basically, what programs do you usually use for productions and play as a DJ?
When I play right now, I would normally play on Tractor, but I don't use Tractor. I've had to use in a pinch because my Mac got burnt up. I've used Virtual DJ. I've used Serato. Yes, I've used Serato very sparingly. But now what I like to play on are the USB sticks. So I use one of the CDJs with USB capabilities, and that's it. When I make music on, I have a program that I got in Italy. It's called Simian. And Simian is impressing me every day since I first got it. But I'm also using Ableton now. So yeah.
Ableton?
Ableton.
So and they didn't ask this particular question, but what is your plug-in system like?
My plug-in system?
Your portable system that you take with you, your baby. What, everybody knows this. Every DJ has one, a baby. What is your baby? There you go.
You know what this is? USB. He's plug it in. No, I can take my machine and plug it in, or I can take a computer, a laptop, and plug it in. But most of the times, I'm looking for them to have CDJs, and I just take this with me, and this has a.
So you always have a backup plan.
Yes, always. Okay. I learned that the hard way.
Oh, there was. I have to mention this, folks. There was a wonderful ball that we did in Germany, and for some strange reason, somebody put a drink near his Mac, and the drink spilled on the Mac and inverted everything on his screen.
Inverted.
Right there in the middle of the event.
Turn your computer backwards. Why is that even on a computer?
Unbelievable.
What possible reason is there for that?
Unbelievable. But so as the lesson to be learned is always have a backup plan. You never really trust a system that you're walking into without you having faithful with you.
Exactly.
I think you travel with 2 computers, correct?
Hmm?
You travel with 2 computers, correct?
Sometimes. Sometimes I do.
Okay. Well,
but thank God for cell phones and pictures, because I can send you what I need and they'll send me what they have. And I was like, oh, I can plug into that. I travel with my own cords because they may not have them. Yeah.
That's very smart.
Do all of that.
Very smart. So, folks, we're talking about a care package. Make sure you have your essentials for your care package. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be caught out there in the cold begging for something that you may not get.
You do not.
Excellent.
That's not a good thing.
Excellent. Well, everyone, later on tonight, we will definitely hear these wonderful sounds that is magical. I mean, the love I have for this man is unbelievable. You have no idea. This man will make you cry on the dance floor, literally. In between the beats.
In between the beats.
Oh, wait, somebody just hit a question here. What? Mm-hmm. Oh, Archie, I have a question for you. What do you think about the battle you already saw, and what do you expect for the winner? Oh, we're about to finish the conversation and start the DJ set. Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing. Real quick, this is a new medium. Everybody did well under the conditions that they were in. But now we know that when we're in the room with each other, there's a certain kind of heat and a certain kind of passion. And we do know that it's been 6 months that maybe everybody hasn't been practicing, or maybe it was hard to be inspired. Well, think of it this way. You know how when little kids get locked up in the house all day and your mom says, don't go out, don't go out, don't go out. But the moment you get the chance to go out, you go crazy? I think that's pretty much for all of us. You know, we're in a situation now where we're able to physically let these things out. So let your emotion generate your motion in this particular situation. So the winners that, or the people that are going on to the next round, you know what, baby, let it out. Let it all out. You know, the thing about this medium is that it's really connected to who we are as people and our experiences and our frustrations and all the things that make us who we are. That's the reason, a lot of the reason why this culture exists. So you know what? Let's do the damn thing. So what I think about the battle I already saw was it's amazing under the conditions that we're under. But you know what? Step it up, baby. Because right now, it's about to go down. So enjoy it. Have fun. You know, You know, if excuse my French, but have fun. Let the pussy rule. Let's go. You know, that's the whole thing behind this medium. Let it all out. I hope that answers your question. Brava and bravo. That's right, baby. Let the pussy roll. So Vjuan, you
Yes.
oh yes, wait. I have one more thing I have to say. So everyone, I gotta tell you something. I am a proud daddy. A proud daddy. These young ladies in this Vogue fever, they're my daughters. These young ladies, Raquel the technician, Tete, and Paula, these are my babies. 6 years ago, we had this crazy idea. Now, mind you, this even goes back further than that. Let's say around 2007. It goes back to 2007 when I met these young ladies in New York City, Paula, in New York City. And she fell in love with the culture. It spoke to her, as this culture speaks a lot to people. You know, when that happened, it set her on a journey which she didn't even expect. She did not even expect. And her girls, Lipstick at the time, they came up with this amazing thought about, you know, what we're feeling in this. We'd love to share this and build something in our little hometown. And I said, well, of course, that's possible. So 6 years ago was the first Vogue Fever. 6 years ago. And many of you who are out there were there at that first Vogue Fever. That was historical. Now, mind you, everybody didn't even have to know exactly what the culture was. But once you were in there, you felt that magic, and it made you want to investigate and made you want to go even deeper and dive. And look at you guys now, 6 years later, killing it, slaying it. And these ladies are the foundation. My babies made this happen. You got to give it up to them. They made this happen. So my contribution to this is being the daddy who birthed it, but as a proud father, I'm going to bestow this beautiful Vogue Fever with a birthday present. I'm donating $200 Vogue Fever.
Yes. Work, Archie.
Yes. Baby, this event is more powerful than you can ever imagine. There you go.
Wow. Okay.
So enjoy. There you go. So,
thank you, Archie. Oh my God.
My babies.
I have no words. And this is the right amount of the grand prize for the winner of the battle, because not right now $2,000 is about 1,000 reais, which is the first time we gave that in a grand prize. So
fabulous.
The winner will have a prize is sponsored by Archie Burnett. Gente, I'm going to speak in Portuguese right now. Vjuan, I don't know if you need any time to get everything ready.
No, she just needs to make me a host so I can share my sound.
Okay,
so Archie, if you want...
yeah, instead of my little boo-boo.
Your little boo.
My little boo-boo.
So you can do your thing, Archie. Do your, like, you know, I'm not gonna say what because people will know. And now I'm gonna do the same thing you told us in Portuguese, because I had to tell everyone that. Ai, gente, meu Deus, tô empolgadíssima. Como assim? O Archie acabou de falar que ele vai doar $200 pro evento. Ele contou toda a história de como que a gente começou e o evento não existiria sem ele. Afinal, a gente conheceu ele em 2008, ele falou 7, mas foi 8, quando ele veio para Curitiba, aqui no Brasil, fazer um evento. E depois, em Nova York, a gente teve outros contatos, e ano passando, não sei o quê. E quando foi 2015, a gente resolveu fazer o Vogue Fever, o Art falou, eu vou pagar minha passagem e vou. E por causa da vinda dele, por causa da vontade dele de vir, o Vogue Fever começou. Então, essa história vai há 6 anos atrás, né? Quando foi o primeiro Vogue Fever em 2015. E foi isso que ele contou aqui agora. E quando ele falou que deu o prêmio de $200. O prêmio por quê? Porque $200 agora é mais ou menos R$1.000. Então, a gente vai pegar esse dinheiro que ele está doando e dar de prêmio na batalha, que é o equivalente. E aí, a batalha que está rolando agora no Vogue Fever 100% online, pane no sistema, sponsored, patrocinada por Archie Burnett. Gente, sem noção, sem condição, melhor pessoa. Inclusive, para quem está na batalha, ele disse que dá conselhos, conta o que deu de bom ou de ruim para cada um. Então, se quiser feedback, se quiser conselho, pede para ele. E agora, gente, vocês estão preparados para isso? Porque eu não sei se eu tô. I don't know if I'm ready, but let's go. The DJ, the one, o criador do Vogue Beat, Vjuan Allure, ladies and gentlemen, everyone else.
Ready?
senta, 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 vai, vai, senta, 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 vai, vai. Essa novinha tá querendo que eu cante em espanhol. Tô ligado que ela gosta do branquinho aqui da bol. Minha tá querendo que eu cante em espanhol. Tô ligado que ela gosta do branquinho aqui da bol. Minha, 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 Love thing. you don't have to. Tonight you don't have to. Tonight you don't have to. Say a motherfucking. Tonight you don't have to. Tonight you don't have to. Tonight you don't have to. Say a motherfucking. Tonight you don't have to. Tonight you don't have to. Tonight you don't have to. Say a motherfucking. Tonight you don't have to. Tonight you don't have to. Tonight you don't have to. Say a motherfucking. Bitch, and when I'm doing what I do, you go through it, bitch. And if you knew how to do, you would do it, bitch. Cause I'm the do. I do what I do cause I can do it, bitch. And when I'm doing what I do, you go through it, bitch. And if you knew how to do, you would do it, bitch. Cause I'm the do. I do what I do cause I can do it, bitch. And when I'm doing what I do, you go through it, bitch. And if you knew how to do, you would do it, bitch. Cause I'm the do. I do what I do cause I can do it, bitch. And when I'm doing what I do, you go through it, bitch. And if you knew how to do, you would do it, bitch. Cause I'm the do. Bitch, and when I'm doing what I do, you go through it, bitch. And if you knew how to do, you would do it, bitch. Cause I'm the do. I do what I do cause I can do it, bitch. And when I'm doing what I do, you go through it, bitch. And if you knew how to do, you would do it, bitch. Cause I'm the do.
Get a bucket and a mop, that's some wet ass pussy. I'm talking wop, that's some wet ass pussy. Macaroni in a pot, that's some wet ass pussy.
Elite Beats.
There's some hoes in this house. 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 There's this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores.
This is a Lamalore Magnifique Elite Beat.
Gobble me, swallow me, drip down inside of me. Quick jump out, but you let it get inside of me. I tell them where to put it, never tell them where I'm about to be. I'll burn down on them before I have a nigga running me. Talk your shit, bite your lip. Ask one call while you ride that dick. Really ain't never got him fucking for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came.
There's some whores in this house. 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 There's some whores in this house.
are. Be who you, be who you, be who you are. Be who you are. Be who you are.
Come on.
divine. Earth mother, work mother, take them to the line. It's all so, head to toe, give them what they came for. Night, night, meaning, be the reason, be it. It's all so, head to toe, give them what they came for.
Sometimes the road gets too rough and you can't stand the pace. Can't keep up with the leaders, so get out of the race.
Now the race is not for the swift, only who can enjoy it. Only the fittest of the fittest shall survive. And when you start to survive, just keep yourself alive. Saying, Selassie, I know. Koti kokoti run the band. 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 Run the band. Run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Run the band. Run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Run the band. Run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Run the band. Run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Run the band. Run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Koti kokoti run the band. Run the band. Run the band. Wrong on the microphone center. Come and dance all just roots and culture. DB DJ go get turn over. This a ragamuffin from up every corner. There's a got wrong on the microphone center. Come and dance all just roots and culture. DB DJ go get turn over. This a ragamuffin from up every corner. There's a got wrong on the microphone center. Come and dance all just roots and culture. DB DJ go get turn over. This a ragamuffin from up every corner. There's a got wrong on the microphone center. Come and dance all just roots and culture. DB DJ go get turn over. This a ragamuffin from up every corner. DB DJ go get. 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 On the microphone center, come and dance all just roots and culture. DB DJ go get turn over. This a ragamuffin from up every corner. There's a got you wrong on the microphone center. Come and dance all just roots and culture. DB DJ go get turn over. This a ragamuffin from up every corner. There's a got you wrong. 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 There's a got you wrong on the microphone center. Come and dance all just roots and culture. DB DJ go get turn over. This a ragamuffin from up every corner.
Your text say we simple, text say we simple. Cause we not stay up one corner and idle. Your text say we simple, text say we simple. You want come take away with title.
She's been on you all night. She said she doesn't see it. She said she's not having it. She says you're not the flavor. Here it comes. Clear the floor. Elite beats. Elite beats.
Why so serious?
Warmed up, huh? Now, I want you to look at that bitch. Point to her. Is it her catwalk, her dog walk, her hands, her precision, her stretch? Is it anything? Point to her and say, why so serious? And bring it.
Why so serious?
This is a Vjuan Allure magnifique elite beat.
engine number 9 on the New York Transit line. If my train goes off the track, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. 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 Pick it up.
and they stay there. And they stay there. And they stay there. And they stay there.
hear me? Can you hear me?
You're trying to kill me, right?
A little bit.
Oh.
Yo, after this one, I'm gonna do one more. Okay.
Come on.
What you want? Hey, rather. What you need?
but you wanna try. Every time you see it.
Remember the time.
All the
you got me hot under the collar.
Voila.
Oh my God. Wait, let me get rid of this thing.
Oh. You doing double Archies. Mm-hmm.
Baby, I'm gonna tell you. You done made me sweat up my hat. I'm trying not to wake the neighbors downstairs and shit.
You gotta wake them up.
I'm like, oh my God, what's that stomping? I'm saying, I'm getting loose, bitch.
In your house. They're like, in your house. Like,
For real. Oh my God. Oh, mi brasilero y brasilera.
Oh, should we still wear?
Yeah, baby. You'll see what I'm talking about, right? You'll feel what I'm talking about, right?
Ooh, that's fun.
My God. Music is the one thing that'll get you through everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you.
Now, listen to all that. We just went around the world.
Hello.
Because it was beats from everywhere.
Hello. Very.
Okay. Think about what you just heard. It's everywhere.
Everywhere. Every genre. I mean, come on. You know? So never let it be said that this kind of feeling is only caught up in one kind of form or style. Never believe that. Ever. Ever. He just proved it to you. Obviously, my favorite track is Poison, but I didn't think he was going to do what he did to that. My God. Guys, keep your creativity going. Keep it going. Times like this is the time for us to get loose, make it happen.
Yeah.
So keep going on. The next few days, we got some more goodies coming, some more battles coming.
Yeah, I want to see.
Get it in.
This was so much fun. You know, I took the cue from this, but I'm actually going to do some more Ballroom Tingz live. This was the first.
Oh, great, man.
We've been thinking about how to do it, and they thought of it first. They're like, oh my God, yes, oh my God. So,
absolutely.
Yes.
Because the Ballroom Tingz, them well worth it, you know. Them well worth it.
You know, just speak the rules. Ross Bomber Clotton.
Oh my God, for real. Oh, when you went there, I gotta honestly say, you turned me out. Oh wow, look at this. More than 360 people were in the line. Trust, we are so honored. Oh my God. Baby. Wait till when this is over and we all get in the room together.
No, the energy in that room.
Oh my God.
I feel sorry for whatever place it is.
For real. I'm gonna have to bring in 2 outfits, baby, because this ain't
change clothes, yeah. Change the clothes.
Oh my God. Thank you, Paula.
Thank you, Paula.
Oh my God. Everyone that's still here, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Thank you.
Everyone.
Oh my goodness. From the bottom of both of our hearts, man. This is what culture's about. This is what sharing's about. You know, don't get caught out there and wrapped up in the bochinchero and the bochincheras. That's not what it's about, baby. Thank you. Thank you. And let's bring back our Paula.